thanks to each and everyone that tuned into the radio today. The messages that both of us have had have been absolutely class, so we're delighted because we were so nervous about doing it. I'm actually only 10 minutes away from where the fire happened, so it's so close to home. If anyone didn't get a chance to tune into the radio, I will link it in this video at the end. So just thanks again for everyone for tuning in and supporting what we're trying to do.
In 1937, 10 young Achill men died in a tragic Bothy fire in Kirkintilloch in the east of Scotland. They had travelled from Mayo the previous day as part of a squad of Tatey hokers. Now, money is trying to be raised for a memorial for the 10 Irish boys on the 90th anniversary, which will take place in September 2027. I'm joined now by Niamh Horan-Buchanan and Colm Heenahan. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Scott, for having us on this morning.
No worries at all. Niamh, could you tell me a bit about the background of this tragedy? What happened on that night in September 1937?
So the 10 lads were sleeping in a bothy and they were locked in from the outside. And whatever happened, there was a big fire and they tragically all died in this tragic event.
The cause of the fire is still not known?
No, there are some suggestions that it was done on purpose, unfortunately, but no one has ever come forward to say that.
Mm-hmm. And they had all travelled over from Achill. I think there was a group of 26 in total. There were 14 girls and young women there as well, but it was the 10 boys who tragically lost their lives inside the barn.
Yes, they were in separate sleeping areas, so the girls were to the left and the boys were to the right of the building. Unfortunately, some were sisters of the brothers, of the boys, and they actually watched their brothers die in this, so it's awful tragic, to be honest.
Yeah, many were related to each other. I'm just looking at the names of them here now, many of them sharing last names. Colm, if I could just come to you, what are the plans or the hopes for this memorial?
We're currently raising funds. We've got a Just Giving page, like a GoFundMe page set up. At the moment, it was probably about 12 months ago we started it, just over 12 months ago, and we just started the Just Giving. We just started about just under £1,000, hoping like we were just going to raise, because currently there's a plaque at the same site, and the plaque is pretty small at the moment, and I don't think it's given for memorable for the 10 boys that lost their lives. So I put it out on a Facebook group and put the question out there. Would everybody agree to having a proper memorial? And it just bar rolled after that, and I set up the Just Giving, and we're up to just £9,000 at the moment. So I'd like to thank everybody that has contributed to the memorial.
So a much bigger response than you initially anticipated, I'm guessing, was it?
Unbelievable, like, you know what I mean? And it's not just from our local community in Kirkintilloch, it's more from as well in Achill and all around Ireland, England, and even America as well. It's gone crazy, like, but it's brilliant how much we've raised, and we weren't expecting that much, but we're gonna get a big memorial that's going to be fitting for the boys.
And this is in Kirkintilloch, which is, I believe, out in the east of Scotland. Could you just tell me a little bit about the area, and is this story well known and documented locally?
It was well known back in as time went on. It was well known as the years went on. There was more anniversaries. They had an anniversary when the plaque was unveiled back in 2007. And then the archives as well in the library have a lot of details about the fire as well. And the council have been in fairness, very good in promoting this as well. But more now that they've been promoted a lot more now lately with the 90th anniversary coming up. So it was the 70th anniversary that kind of, it started the archives, and even before that, you know, so people can actually go to the library, read up about it. That have everything there, all the IFA about it, the the basically, yeah, the library has everything, and the town itself is probably about a couple of thousand in Kirkintilloch itself, but there's a strong community, there's a strong immigrant community as well. I've been living there for just over 20 years now, and it's been good to us, and it's been a good community feel overall, like especially with the funds being raised, with our local pubs and not having raffles for this memorial and everything, so they've been very good, and the council as well.
Yeah, and what did you do for that 70th memorial? What took place then?
I wasn't present at the time. I don't know that they'd done a presentation and that they opened up the plaque, and they did have a street name as well called Ackle Place opened at the same site, just around the library there. And there was a couple. There was a Cumlock, Artuel Ackla were involved. Cumlock Glasgow were involved as well at the time. But yeah, I wasn't involved, but there was a pretty good unveiling at the time. So it was more the kind of when I seen the smaller plaque myself a couple of years ago, I kind of got the ball rolling and thinking something needs to be done bigger, and because people were getting, people were turning up in Kirkintilloch that were coming from all over and trying to find the plaque, and there was no actual proper documentation where it was, so that's why I'm hoping we've set up the website now showing everything, like the story and where the donations are and everything, just giving people the news about what's happened, because not everybody's on Facebook, as you know. So we're going to give everybody out there that was involved in the 2007 one to kind of come over for the 19th one next year, so people from Ackle can come over, and, so we're hoping to have a cultural event as well after the unveiling involved in East Dunbartonshire as well. So it's looking good, it's building up nicely.
Mm-hmm. And Niamh, if I could just come back to you, Colin mentioned it there. How involved are people from Ackle in the last memorial and in this upcoming one, particularly the families of the boys that tragically died on that night?
Oh, the people of Ackle have been so generous towards the memorial. There's so many people that we could thank. Firstly, I actually would like to thank Councillor Paul McNamara. I met with him when I was over a few weeks ago, and there's also other local councillors that have pledged their support for the memorial, so it's great. I was actually out a drive with Damien Coban when I was over, and he was taking me around all. Now I've been to Ackle before, and I always go to the grave when I'm over, but Damien took me around to all the sort of homesteads of the boys, and it was just really moving to kind of see their last steps. But yeah, the people of Ackle have been fantastic, really, really generous, and I can't thank them enough.
I'm the same. I have to agree as well. I was there in 2019, Scott, at the cemetery, Kildowna Cemetery, and it was very moving at the time. And that was another story that kind of got me kind of, going with to get the new memorial set up over in Kirkintilloch as well.
And if I could just ask as well, just to go back to the story of the tragedy itself, Niamh, we've had a texter get in touch asking how many survived the fire. I'm guessing it was all 10 that were inside the barn that passed away, while the ones that weren't in the sleeping quarters there, was it about 16 more of them, they all lived?
Yes, so it was the 10 boys within that section of the Bothy that died. No one, I believe, survived in that section of the Bothy.
But there were efforts to try and get them out. I'm just reading here now that unfortunately some farmhands weren't able to make it in time.
Yes, so there was a cry for help as such, and locals did come over, but they couldn't get in with it being locked from the outside, and they weren't even able to break it open. And
Colm, I'll just ask you lastly, you mentioned a GoFundMe page. How would someone find that if they wanted to help raise funds for this memorial?
It's actually on Facebook at the moment. We've got a Facebook group set up at the moment called Kirkintilloch Ackle Memorial Updates. and it's basically just giving everybody updates. So anybody that's not on Facebook as well can go onto the website. It's KBFM 2027. So that's Kirkintilloch Bothy Fire Memorial 2027.com. KBFM2027.com. And I've been updating that, and with updates and from the council and the funds we've raised so far, and the story as well. It gives a good insight to the story of what happened, and over the different articles over the years. Michael Halfpenny, who was based in Dundalk, he's a very good historian as well, who's given us pretty good stories about it as well in Kirkintilloch. He travels around to different sites as well and gives talks, and so he's been doing good community stuff in Kirkintilloch as well. So yeah, everything is on the website. They can search on Facebook as well for the Facebook group.
Okay, Niamh Horan Buchanan and Colm Heenahan helping raise funds for the Kirkintilloch Bothy Fire Memorial 2027. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks a million.
Okay, that was Colm and Niamh there discussing that tragic incident that took place back in 1937. And as they said, if you want to help raise funds for that memorial, you can do so via Facebook.